sermon last Sunday. It's really wonderful, Dr. Harper. In only 2 short years, you've taken on the spirit of Brooklyn.
That's very gratifying, Miss Brewster.
Personally, I've always enjoyed my talks with Cardinal Gibbons. Or have I met him yet?
No, dear, not yet. Are the biscuits any good?
Bully.
Oh, won't you have another biscuit, Dr. Harper?
Oh, no. I'm afraid I'll have no appetite for dinner now. I always eat too many biscuits just to taste that lovely jam. I must admit, Miss Abby, that war and violence seem far removed from these surroundings.
It is peaceful here, isn't it?
Yes, peaceful. The virtues of another day. They're all here in this house. The virtues that went out with candlelight and good manners and low taxes.
It's one of the oldest houses in Brooklyn. It's just as it was when Grandfather Brewster built and furnished it, except for the electricity, and we use it as little as often. It was Mortimer who persuaded us to put it in.
Yes, I understand that. Your nephew Mortimer seems to live only by electric light.
Oh, the poor boy has to work so late. I understand he's taking Elaine with him to the theater again tonight. Teddy, your brother Mortimer will be here a little later.
The light.
We're so happy it's Elaine Mortimer takes to the theater with him.
Well, it's a new experience for me to wait up until 3 o'clock in the morning for my daughter to be brought home.
Dr. Harper, I hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer.
No, Miss Abby, I'll be frank with you. I'm speaking of your nephew's unfortunate connection with the theater.
The theater? Oh, Dr. Harper, Mortimer writes for a New York newspaper.
I know, Miss Abby, I know. But a dramatic critic is constantly exposed to the theater. And I don't doubt that when something do develop an interest in it.
Well, not Mortimer. You need have no fear of that. Why, Mortimer hates the theater.
Really?
He writes awful things about the theater. He was so happy writing about real estate, which he really knew something about. But then they just made him take this awful night position, the poor boy.
My.
But, as he says, the theater can't last much longer anyway. And in the meantime, it's a living. Yes, I think if we give the theater another year or 2, perhaps. Now, who do you think that is? Oh, no, thank you, Teddy. I'll go. Come in, officers.
Hello, Miss Brewster.
How are you, Mr. Klein?
Very well, Miss Brewster.
What news have you brought?
Colonel, we have nothing to report.
Splendid. Thank you, Captain. Alice.
You know Dr. Harper?
Sure. Hello, Dr. Harper. We've come for the toys for the Christmas fund.
Oh, yes.
That's splendid work you men do, fixing up discarded toys to give poor children a happier Christmas. It gives us something to do when we get to sit around the station. You get tired playing cards, and then you start cleaning your gun, and the first thing you know, you've shot yourself in the foot.
Teddy, go upstairs and get that big box from your Aunt Martha's room. How was Mrs. Brophy today? Mrs. Brophy's been quite ill, Dr. Harper.
Pneumonia. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I'm gonna get you something.
Okay. You shouldn't go through all that trouble. Listen, try to stop them or her sister from doing something nice and for nothing. They don't even care how you vote.
Practical Academy to get the release of those toys.
He used to do that in the middle of the night. The neighbors raised him in with us. They're a little afraid of him anyway. Oh, he's quite harmless. Suppose he does think he's Taylor, though. There's a lot worse people he could think he was. Damn shame. A nice family like this hatching a cuckoo. Well, his father was some sort of genius, wasn't he? Teddy's grandfather. Seems to me I heard he was a little crazy, too. Yeah, he was crazy like a fox. He made $1 million. Really? Here in Brooklyn. Yeah, patent medicine. He was kind of a quack of some sort. He used that house here as sort of a clinic, tried him out on people. Yeah, I hear he used to make mistakes occasionally. The department never bothered him much because he was pretty useful in autopsy sometimes, especially poison cases. Whatever he did, he left his daughters fixed for life. Thank God for that. Not that they ever spend any of it on themselves. Yes, I'm well acquainted with their charities. You don't know a tenth of it. When I was with the Missing Persons Bureau, I was trying to trace an old man that we never did find. Do you know there's a renting agency that got this down on its list for furnished rooms? It's just their way of digging up some people. It's good too.
Well, now isn't this nice?
You
Good afternoon, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Mr. Brophy, Mr. Harper, Mr. Payne?
How are you, Miss Brewster? We dropped in to get the Christmas toys.
Oh, yes, Teddy's Army and Navy. Where at? They're all packed.
The colonel's upstairs after them. Seems the cabinet has to have paid.
Yes, of course. I hope Mrs. Brophy's better.
She's doing fine, ma'am. Her sister's getting me some soup to take to her.
Oh, yes, we just made it this morning. I just took some to a poor old man who had ever so many bones.
Oh, you're back, Martha. How was Mr. Benetsky?
Oh, it was pretty serious, dear. The doctor was there and he will have to amputate in the morning.
Can we be present?
Sorry, I asked. It was against hospital policy.
Well, if you couldn't be of any service, then you must spare yourself someday.
Okay, so be sure it's good and hot.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, this is fine. It'll make the left look happy.
Adam Valley boy is nuts about soldiers.
We'll run along, ma'am. And thank you very much.
Well, not at all. Bye.
I must see you.
Before you go, Dr. Harper.
Charge! Charge the blockhouse!
The blockhouse?
The stairs are always San Juan Hill.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to persuade him that he wasn't Teddy?
Oh, no.
He was ever so happy being Teddy Roosevelt.
Once a long time ago, remember Martha? We thought if he would be George Washington, it might be a change for him.
But he stayed under the bed for days and just wouldn't be anyone.
And we'd so much rather he be Mr. Roosevelt than nobody.
Well, if he's happy, and more so, we're happy. You'll see that he's fine. One other thing.
Dr. Harper has made arrangements for Teddy to go to Happydale Sanitarium after we pass on.
But why should Teddy sign these papers now?
It's better to have it all settled. If the Lord should take you away suddenly, perhaps we couldn't persuade him to go. And that would mean an unpleasant legal procedure, and Mr. Witherspoon understood that they're to be filed away until the time comes to use them.
Mr. Witherspoon,
He's the superintendent of Happydale. But Dr. Harper has arranged for him to drop in tomorrow or the next day to meet Teddy.
Well, I'd better be running along or Elena will come looking for me.
We'll give our love to Elaine. And Dr. Harper, please don't think too harshly of Mortimer because he's a dramatic critic. Somebody has to do those things.
did you just have tea? It's rather late.
Yes, and dinner's going to be late too.
So why?
Teddy, you're going to Panama to dig another lock for the canal.
Delightfully. That's funny. Just funny. I shall contract once for the journey. Charge!
Oh, no, there wasn't time and I was all alone. Well, cold. No one on this side of the house. Martha, just look in the window seat. I'll get it. Oh, it's Elaine. Come in, dear.
Good afternoon, Miss Abby. Good afternoon, Miss Martha. Has Mortimer come yet?
Oh, not yet, dear.
Oh, he hasn't even eaten here. Do you mind if I wait?
No, no.
Why don't you sit down, dear?
But we really must speak to Mortimer about this.
Doing what?
Well, he was brought up to know better. When a gentleman is calling on a lady, he should call on her at her house.
Oh, there's something about calling for a girl out of Arsenic that discourages my man
He's
doesn't look forward
done
to.
this too often. We're going to speak to him.
Hello, Elaine. Hello, Aunt Martha.
Abby, Mortimer's here.
Were you going somewhere?
I was just going over to tell Father that's what over.
I didn't know that was still being done, even in Brooklyn.
Hello, Mortimer.
Hello, Aunt Abby.
How are you, dear?
All right. You look well. You haven't changed much since yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday, wasn't it? We sure are stealing a great deal of you lately. Well, come, sit down, sit down.
Abby, haven't we something to do in the kitchen?
Huh?
You know, the tea things?
The tea things! Right, well, you two just make yourselves at home. Just
Make yourselves at home.
pretty obvious. A lot of inventiveness, I should say.
Yes, that's exactly what you say.
What do you want for dinner?
I don't care, I'm not very hungry.
Well, I just had breakfast. Suppose we wait until after the show?
But that'll make it pretty late, won't it?
For a minister's daughter, you know quite a lot about life. Where'd you learn?
In the choir loft. Which reminds me, I better tell Father please not to get up for me tonight.
I've never been able to rationalize it.
What?
By falling in love with a girl who lives in Brooklyn.
Oh, Lord.
Where can we be married? In a hurry. Say tonight.
I'm afraid Father will insist on officiating.
I'll be sure to give that play tonight a good notice.
And don't pretend you love me that much.
Be sure to tell your father not to wait up tonight.
I think I better tell him to wait up for me tonight.
All right, everything formal and legal, but not later than next month.
Hello, Mortimer.
How are you, Mr. President?
Oh, fully, just fully, thank you. What news have you brought me?
Just this, Mr. President. The country is squarely behind you.
Splendid. Is it wonderful? Well, goodbye. Goodbye.
Where are you off to, Teddy?
Panama.
Panama's just Well, Teddy was always my favorite brother.
Favorites, there were more of you?
There's another brother, Jonathan.
I've never heard of him. Your aunt's never mentioned him.
No, we don't like to talk about Jonathan. He left Brooklyn very early, by request. Jonathan was the kind of boy who loved to split worms into, with his teeth.
What became of him?
I don't know. He wanted to become a surgeon like grandfather, but he wouldn't go to medical school first, and his practice got him into trouble.
Oh, well, I'm going to run over to speak to Father. Before I go out with him, he wants to pray over me a little. I'll cut him to the cemetery.
If the prayer isn't too long, I'd have time to leave you beside the still waters.
Mortimer, that's the first time I've heard you quote the Bible. Oh, I knew Elaine would be a good influence for you.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to marry you.
What? Darling! Oh, Martha, come right in here. I've got the most wonderful news for you. Mortimer and Elaine are to be married. Married? Oh, Mortimer. Oh, we hoped it would happen just like this.
Well, Elaine must be the happiest girl in the world.
Oh, by the way, I have some large envelope around here. Have you seen it?
Well, if you left it here, it must be here somewhere.
Well, when Elaine comes back, I think we ought to have a little celebration.
Oh, and to think it happened in this very room.
Now, where could I put that?
Well, with your fiancé sitting beside you tonight, I do hope the play can be something you'll actually enjoy for once. Oh, it might be something romantic. What's the name of it?
Murder Will Out. When the curtain goes up, the first thing you'll see will be a dead body.
Yes, dear?
You made plans for Teddy to go to that sanitarium, Happydale?
Yes, Dr. Harper stopped by today with the papers. It's all right.
She's got to find them right away. This minute, he's down the cellar. Get him up here right away.
There's no such hurry as that.
No, when Teddy starts working on the canal, you can't get his mind on anything else.
Teddy's got to go to Happydale now, tonight.
No, dear, not until after we're gone.
Right away, I tell you, right away. Listen, darlings, I'm frightfully sorry, and I've got some shocking news for you. Now we've all got to keep our head. Teddy's killed, man.
Nonsense, dear.
There's a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear, we know.
Christina, what has nothing to do with Teddy?
No, Mortimer, just forget about it. Forget you ever saw the gentleman.
Forget.
Well, we never dreamed he'd peek.
But who is he?
His name's Hoskins, Adam Hoskins. That's really all I know about him, except that he's a Methodist.
That's all you know about him? Well, what's he doing here? What happened to him?
He died.
And Martha, you don't just get into window seats and die.
No, he died first.
Well, how?
Well,
Oh, Mortimer, don't be.
Now, Mortimer, you behave yourself.
Don't be so whiskey.
Don't be so inquisitive. The gentleman died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
How did the poison get in the wine?
well, we put it in the wine because it's more noticeable when it's in tea.
Poison in the wine?
Yes, and I put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
So you know what you've done. You didn't want Dr. Harper to see the body.
Well, no, not at tea. That wouldn't have been very nice.
What are we gonna do? What are we going to do?
Mortimer, you know the whole thing. Just forget about it. I do think Martha and I have the right to our own little secrets.
What are we going to do?
What do you mean, what are we going to do?
There's a body in there.
Yes, Mr. Hoskins.
Good heavens, I can't turn you over to the police. But what am I going to do?
Well, and what did you stop being so excited?
And for pity's sake, stop worrying. We told you to forget the whole thing.
Forget. My dear Aunt Abby, can I make you realize that something has to be done?
Wormer, you behave yourself. You're too old to be flying off the handle like
But
this.
Mr. Hotchkiss,
Hoskins, dear.
well, whatever his name is, you can't leave him there.
We don't intend to, dear.
No, Teddy's down in the cellar now digging the lock.
You mean you're going to bury Mr. Hotchkiss in the cellar?
Yes, of course, dear, that's what we're going to do.
No, you can't bury Mr. Others?
The other gentleman.
When you say others, do you mean others? More than one others?
Oh, yes, dear. Let me see. This makes 11, doesn't it, Abby?
No, dear, this makes 12.
No, I think you're wrong.
No, dear, because I remember when Mr. Hoskins came in, it occurred to me that he'd make just an even dozen.
Well, you really can't count the first one.
No, I was counting the first one, so that makes it 12.
Hello? Hello. Oh, hello, Al. My, it's good to hear your voice. Shh. Al,
Oh, anyway,
look.
they're all down in the cellar.
Get a hold of George right away. He's got to review the play tonight. I can't make it. No, Al, you're wrong. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. Well, George has got to cover the play tonight. This is my department, and I'm running it. You get a hold of George. Now, let's see. Where were we? 12! Oh, my God. All right, now, who was the first one?
Mr. Midgley, he was a Baptist.
Of course, I still think we can't claim full credit. He just happened to die.
Luckily, he's not any help from us. You see, Mr. Midgley came here looking for a room, and it didn't seem right for that lovely room to be going to waste. And there were so many people who needed it.
He was such a lonely old man.
Oh, all his kith and kin were dead, and it left him so forlorn and unhappy.
We felt so sorry for him.
Oh, and then when his heart attack came, and he sat dead in that chair, remember Martha looking so peaceful, we decided right then and there that if we could help other old men to that same peace, we would.
He dropped dead right in that chair. How awful for you.
Oh, no, dear. It was rather like old times. Your grandfather always had a cadaver or two lying around the house. And Teddy walked in and just assumed it was a young few victim, which means he had to be buried in the canal right away.
Immediately.
So we took him down to Panama and put him in the lock. And now that we've told you, you see, we know what we're doing, so you have no reason to worry.
How all this started. That man walking in here and dropping dead.
Well, of course we realized we couldn't depend on that happening again. So,
You remember those jars of poison in your grandfather's laboratory for all these years?
and you know your Aunt Martha's knack for mixing things.
Oh, Abby. Well, for a gallon of elderberry wine, you take 1 teaspoon of strychnine, a half teaspoon of arsenic, and just a pinch of cyanide.
Should have quite a kick.
Oh, yes, as a matter of fact, one of our gentlemen found time to say, how delicious.
Well, I have to get things started in the kitchen.
I wish you could stay for dinner.
I'm trying out a new recipe.
I couldn't give a thing.
Well, how happy you must be. Well, dear, I'll leave you with your thoughts.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, darling, it was. Father could see that I was excited, so I told him about us and made it work for me to get away. But listen, darling, he's not going to wait up for me tonight.
You run along Como Lane. I'll call you up tomorrow. you know I always call you up every day or two.
But we're going to the theater tonight.
No, we're not.
Well, why not?
Elaine, nothing's come up.
That's darling. Oh, Mortimer, you've lost your job.
No, I haven't lost my job. I'm just not covering that play tonight. Now you run along Como Lane.
But I've got to know what's happened. Certainly you can tell me.
No, dear, I can't.
But if we're going to be married... Have you not forgotten that not 15 minutes ago you proposed to me?
Oh, yes. Well, as far as I know, that's still on. Now you run along Como Lane. I've got to do something.
Listen, you can't propose to me 1 minute and throw me out of the house the next.
I'm not throwing you out of the house, darling. Now will you get out of here?
No, I won't get out of here.
Oh, Elaine. Oh, look, Elaine, you're a sweet girl and I love you. But I have something on my mind right now, and I want you to come home and wait until I call you.
Don't be masterful.
When we're married and I have problems to face, I hope you're less tedious and uninspired.
And when we're married, if we're married, I hope I find you adequate.
Elaine! Hello, Al? Hello? 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 Hello, Al?
That's the doorbell, dear, not the telephone. Oh, come in.
Are you the lady of the house?
I am. My name is Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, another Miss Brewster.
My name is Diggs.
Oh, won't you sit down? I'm sorry, we were just setting the table for dinner.
Hello? Let me talk to Al. City desk. Al, city desk. What? I'm sorry, wrong number.
May I see the room?
Why don't you sit down a minute and let's get acquainted?
That won't do much good if he doesn't like the room.
Is Brooklyn your home?
Haven't got a home. Live in a hotel. Don't like it.
Hello? City desk.
Are your family Brooklyn people?
Haven't got any family.
Alone in the room?
Yep.
Well, Martha.
Hello?
Well,
Al.
you come to just the right house.
More. We got cut off. Al, I can't cover that play tonight. That's all there is to it. I can't.
What church do you go to? There's an Episcopal next door.
Presbyterian used to be.
What's George doing in Bermuda? Certainly I told him he could go to Bermuda. It's my department, isn't it? Well, you've got to sign somebody. Who else is there around the office?
Is there always this much noise?
He doesn't live with us.
There must be somebody around the place. Look out. Oh my gosh. Well, you look around the office. I'll hold on.
I'd really like to see the room.
Oh, it's upstairs. Won't you try a glass of our wine before we head up?
Never touch it.
We make ourselves an elderberry.
Elderberry wine. Haven't touched elderberry wine since I was a boy. Thank you.
Well, there must be some guys around. Look out. The fellow who sets my copy. The one we don't like. He'd not to know about what I'd write.
Do you own your own bushes?
No, but the cemetery's closed.
No, I'm not drinking, but I'm going to start now.
You said well, we might, but first just see whether you like the wine.
Yeah.
Mortimer, not that.
Get out of here! Oh my God! Do you want to be murdered? Do you want to be killed? Get out of here!
Well, now you spoiled everything.
Things like that. I don't know how to explain this to you, but it's not only against the law, it's wrong. People wouldn't understand. He wouldn't understand.
Oh, Abby, we shouldn't have told Mortimer.
What I mean is, well, this has developed into a very bad habit.
Mortimer, we don't try to stop you from doing things you like to do. I don't see why you should interfere with us.
Look, I've got to go to the theater. I can't get out of it. But before I go, will you promise me something?
You'd have to know what it was first.
I love you very much, and I know you love me. You know I'd do about anything in the world for you, and I want to do just this little thing for you.
What do you want us to do?
Don't do anything. I mean, don't do anything. Don't let anyone in this house, and leave Mr. Hoskins right where he is.
Well, we're planning on holding services before dinner.
Services.
Certainly. You don't think you'd let Mr. Hoskins be buried without first services?
Can't that wait until after I get back?
Oh, then you can join us.
Yes.
Oh, Mortimer, you'll enjoy the services, especially the hymns. Remember, Martha, how beautifully he used to sing in the choir before his voice changed?
Have you got some paper? I'll be back just as soon as I can.
We made a mess. The prison down here. Will this do?
This will be fine. I can save time if I write my review on the way to the theater.
Well, it's only natural. I think I know why. Well, he's just become engaged to be married. I suppose that always makes a man nervous.
Oh, Abby, if Mortimer's coming back, we're going to need another hymnal.
There's one upstairs, right? You know, dear, it's really my turn to read the services, but since you were here when Mr. Hoskins came, I want you to do it.
Oh, dear, that's so lovely, but are you sure?
Oh, it's only fair. I'll go, dear.
No, we promised Mortimer we wouldn't let her begin.
Who's this supposed to be?
No, I'll go with you. It's two men I've never seen before.
Are you sure?
There's a car at the curb. That must be theirs.
Let me look. nothing like Jonathan, so you just get out of here.
But I am Jonathan, and this is Dr. Einstein.
He's not Dr. Einstein either.
Not Dr. Albert Einstein, Dr. Herman Einstein.
Who are you? You're not our nephew, Jonathan.
I see you're still wearing that lovely garnet that you wearing on Thursday bought from New England. And you what, Martha? Still the high collar to hide the scar where his grandfather's acid burned you?
What is life, Jonathan?
Have you been in an accident?
No, my face. Dr. Einstein's responsible for that. He's a plastic surgeon. He changes people's faces.
But I've seen that face before. Abby, remember when we took the little toy boy out to the movies? I was ever so frightened.
Easy, Johnny, easy. Don't very lady. The last 5 years I gave Johnny 3 new faces. I gave him another one right away. This first face, well, I saw the picture too, just before I opted. And I was intoxicated.
See, Doctor? You see what you've done? Even my own family.
They know you, Johnny. You know it's him. Speak to him. Tell him so.
Well, Jonathan, it's been a long time. What have you been doing all these years?
Yes, Jonathan, where have you been?
Oh, England, South Africa, Australia. The last 5 years, Chicago. Dr. Einstein and I were in business there together.
We were in Chicago for the World's Fair.
Yes, we found it off the warm.
Yeah, that's hot for us too.
Well, it's wonderful to be back in both again. And you, Abby, Martha, you look a day older. Just as I remember you, sweet, charming, hospitable, and dear Teddy. Did he enter politics? My little brother, Doctor, was determined to become president.
Ted's just fine, and Mortimer's well too.
I know Mortimer. I've seen his picture at the head of his column. He's evidently fulfilled the promise of his early teenage.
We're very fond of Mortimer.
Well, Jonathan, it's been very nice to see you again.
Bless you, Aunt Martha. It's good to be home.
Jonathan, we're glad you remembered us and that you've come in to say hello, but you were never happy in this house, and we were never happy with you in it. So, say goodbye.
Aunt Abby, I can't say what you're feeling towards me comes as a surprise. I've spent a great many hours regretting the parting to Mr. Gibbons as a boy.
You were quite a trial to us, Jonathan.
But my greatest disappointment is for Dr. Einstein. I promised him that no matter how rushed we were in passing through Brooklyn, that I'd take the time to bring him here for one of Aunt Martha's home-cooked dinners.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm afraid there wouldn't be enough.
Abby, it is a pretty good size.
Not this.
I think it's the least you can do.
Thank you, Aunt Martha. We'll stay to dinner.
Well, we'll hurry it along. Yes. Oh, Jonathan, if you want to freshen up, you can use the washroom in Grandfather's old laboratory.
Is that still there?
Well, if you get a meal anyways.
Grandfather's laboratory. And as it was, Doctor, a perfect operating room.
Yeah, too bad we can't use it.
After you finish with me, why, we could make a fortune here. Grandfather's laboratory, the large ward in the attic, 10 beds, Doctor, and Brooklyn's prime big palace.
Well, Tony, where do we go from here? We got to think fast. The police have got pictures of that face. We need to find some place to operate on you. And we need to find a place for Mr. Spinoza.
Don't waste any worry on that rat.
But Johnny, we got a hot ship on our hands.
Forget Mr. Spinozzo.
But you can't just leave a dead body in the rumble seat. Johnny, you shouldn't have killed him. He's a nice guy. He gives us a lift and what happens?
He said I look like Boris Karloff. That's your work, Doctor. You did that to me.
Now, Johnny, if we find a place somewhere, I fix you up quick.
Tonight.
Johnny, got to eat first. I'm hungry. Weak. It's life comes true. Beautiful dream. Only I hope you're not dreaming. It's so peaceful.
That's what makes this house so by meeting Dr. Einstein in London, I might say changed the whole course of my life. Dr. Einstein made it possible for me to see.
A good job, Tommy. When he took off his bandages, his face looked so different, Sid Nurse had to reintroduce me.
I love that face. I still carry a picture with me.
This looks more how you used to look, but still I wouldn't know you.
I think we'll go back to that face, Doctor.
Yeah, I think it's safe now.
Well, I know that you both like to get to where you're going.
My dear aunt, I'm so full of that delicious dinner and unable to make a mustard.
Yeah, it's nice here.
After all, it's very late.
I found it. I found it.
What did you find, Teddy?
Right here. Here's the picture I told you about, Jen. Here we are. Jen, Gothels, and President Roosevelt at the clever cut. That's me, General. And that's you.
My, how I've changed.
Well, you see, the picture hasn't been taken yet. We haven't even started digging blocks for the clever cut. And now, General, we will both go to Panama and inspect the new lock.
What?
No, Teddy, not to Panama.
Viva summertime. Panama's a long way off.
Nonsense, it's just down in the cellar.
The cellar.
We let them dig the Panama Canal in the cellar.
General Gothels, as President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy, and the man who gave me this job, I demand that you accompany me on the inspection of the new lock.
Teddy, I think it's time you went to bed.
I beg your pardon. Who are you?
I'm Mitchell Wilson. Go to bed.
No, you're not Wilson. But your face is familiar. Let me see. You're not anybody I know now. Perhaps later, on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes, you look like someone I might meet in the jungle.
Perhaps you had better go to bed, Teddy. Jonathan and his friend have to get back to their hotel.
General Goggles, inspect the canal.
All right, Mr. President, we go to Panama.
Follow me. It's down south now.
Well, bon voyage.
Alright, I must correct your misapprehension. You spoke of our hotel. We have no hotel. Aunt Martha, this is my home.
Well, Jonathan, you can't stay here. We need our rooms.
Dr. Einstein and I need a place to sleep. You remember this afternoon that as a boy after being berries. It wouldn't be very pleasant if any of us did.
Well, perhaps just one night.
Well, just overnight, Jonathan.
That's settled. Now, if you get my room ready.
It only needs airing out.
We keep it ready to show our lodgers. I think you and Dr. Einstein are feeling comfortable.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. We're turning Grandpa's laboratory into an operating room. We expect to be quite busy.
Jonathan, we will not let you turn this house into a hospital.
Hospital? Heavens, no. It'll be a beauty parlor.
Hey, Tommy, down in the cellar.
Dr. Einstein, my dear aunts, have invited us to live with them.
Well, for tonight.
Tommy, when I go down in the cellar, what do you think I find?
What?
The Panama Canal.
The Panama Canal.
It just fits, Mr. Spinoza. It's a whole teddy jug. 6 feet long and 4 feet wide.
Down there?
You'd think they knew we were bringing Mr. Spinoza along. Now that's hospitality.
Rather a good joke at my aunt's. They're living in a house with a 5-room cellar.
Yeah, but how did he get him in?
Yeah, you can't just walk through the door. No, drive the car up between the house and the cemetery, and when they got to bed, we'll bring Mr. Spinoza in through the window. Jonathan, your room is ready. Then you can go to bed. We're moving the car up behind the house.
It's all right where it is until morning.
I don't want to leave it in the street. That might be against the law.
What are we going to do?
Well, we're not going to let them stay more than one night in this house for one thing. What would people think? People coming in with one face and leaving with another.
What are we going to do with Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins. We can't be very comfortable in there. Mr. Hoskins down to Panama right away. How's Daddy?
I will not be inviting Jonathan to me.
Oh, no. Well, wait until after they're gone to bed and then come down and hold the services. Teddy, go back down to the cellar.
It's another yellow fever.
It's been another yellow fever victim.
Dear me, this was a shock to the general.
Well, we go back down in the cellar, and when I turn out the lights, when it's all dark, you know what dark is? It's when it's all dark, you come up and take the poor man down to the canal. Now go along, Teddy.
And we'll come down later and hold service.
You may announce that the president will say a few words. Now, where is the foredeck?
He's in the window seats.
We've never had a liquid there before. It seems to be spreading.
I thought I
saw someone crawling around the house?
Well, yes, weren't you outside? Isn't that your car?
You saw someone at the car?
Yes?
What else did you see?
Just someone walking around the house to the car.
What else did you see?
Just that, that's all. That's why I came over here. I wanted to tell Miss Abby to call the police. But if that was you, and that's your car, I don't need to bother Miss Abby. I'll be running along now.
What was the man doing at the car?
I don't know. You see, I was really over here.
I think you're lying.
Johnny, I think she tells the truth. You guys will go now, huh?
I think she's lying. Breaking into a house this time of night? I think she's dangerous. She shouldn't be around without loose.
You can't from me.
Doctor!
It's going to be a private funeral.
Teddy, tell these men who I am.
That's my daughter, Alice.
Teddy, no! Teddy, no!
Doctor!
Charge!
The cellar!
What's the matter? What's going on? What's the matter? What are you doing?
We caught a burglar, a sneak thief. Go back to your room.
We'll call the police.
We called the police. We'll handle this. Go back to your room. You hear me?
Where have you been?
To the Majestic Theater, and I should have known better. My God, I'm still there.
Tower 52. This is your brother, John.
This is your brother Jonathan. And this is Dr. Einstein.
I know this isn't a nightmare, but what is it?
I've come back home, Mortimer.
Who did you say this was?
It's your brother, Jonathan. He's had his face changed. Dr. Einstein performed the operation.
Jonathan, you always were a horror, but you have to look like one.
Mortimer, have you forgotten the things that you and the boys? Remember the time when you were tied to the bench with the mills under your fingernails?
Oh my God, it is Jonathan. Yes, I remember. I remember you as the most detestable, vicious, venomous form of animal life I ever knew.
Now, don't you see your boys start quarreling again the minute you've seen each other.
There won't be any fighting, Abby. Jonathan, you're not wanted here. Get out.
Dr. Einstein and I have been invited to stay.
Not in this house.
Just for tonight.
All right, tonight. But the first thing in the morning, out. Where are they sleeping?
We put them in Jonathan's old room.
That's my old room. I'm sleeping in that room. I'm here to stay.
Oh, Mortimer, I'm so glad.
Johnny, we sleep down here.
You bet your life you sleep down here.
Yeah. You sleep on the sofa and I sleep on the window seat.
The window seat. Oh well, let's not argue about it. The window seat's good enough for me tonight. I'll sleep on the window seat.
Yeah. You know, Johnny, all this argument is really making me think of Mr. Spinoza.
Spinoza. Well now, Mortimer, it really isn't necessary to inconvenience you like this. We'll sleep down here.
Jonathan, your sudden consideration for me is very important.
Well, come along, Johnny. We get those things out of our room, eh?
Don't bother, Doctor.
By the way, Doctor, I completely lost track of Mr. Spinoza.
Who's this Mr. Spinoza?
Just a friend that Johnny has been looking for.
Well, don't bring anyone else in here.
Well, it's all right, Johnny. While we pack, I'll tell you all about it.
We'll be packed in a few minutes, and then you can have the room, Mortimer.
Oh, Mortimer.
You're just wasting your time. I told you I'm sleeping down here. What's the matter with you here?
I've almost been killed.
You've almost... Abby, Martha!
No, it was Jonathan.
He mistook her for a sneak thief. No, it was more than that. He's some kind of maniac. Mortimer, I'm afraid of him.
Darling, you're trembling. Have you got any smelling salts?
No, but I have some hot coffee or tea.
Coffee. Make some for me too. Some sandwiches. I haven't had dinner.
We'll make some for the book.
You weren't going out somewhere, were you? Do you know what time it is? It's after 12. 12! Oh my God, Elaine, you've got to get out of here.
What? Mortimer, what is going on in this house?
What do you mean, what's going on in this house?
You were supposed to take me to dinner and the theater tonight. You called it off. You asked me to marry you, and I said I would, and 5 minutes later you threw me out of the house. Tonight, just after your brother tries to strangle me, you want to chase me home. Now listen, Mr. Brewster, I want to know where I stand. You love me?
I love you very much, Elaine. In fact, I love you so much that I can't marry you.
Have you suddenly gone crazy?
I don't think so. It's just a matter of time. You see, insanity runs in my family. It practically gallops. That's why I can't marry you, dear.
Now wait a minute, you've got to do better than that.
No, dear, there's a strange trait in the Brewster blood.
No, just because Teddy is little.
No, it goes way back. The first Brewster, the one who came over on the Mayflower. You know, in those days, the Indians used to scout the settlers. You used to scout the Indians.
What about that ancient history?
No, the whole family. Take my grandfather. He tried his patent medicines out on dead people so he wouldn't kill them.
You made $1 million. So crazy.
And then there's Jonathan. You just said he was a maniac. He tried to kill you.
No, darling, all of this doesn't prove that you're crazy. Look at your aunts. They're Brewsters, aren't they? And they're the sanest, sweetest people I've ever known.
Well, even they have their peculiarities.
Yes, but what lovely peculiarities. Kindness, generosity, human sympathy.
There's another one.
Anything about your aunts.
Look, Elaine, you've got to go home. Something very important has just come up.
Up from where? We're here alone together.
I know I'm acting irrationally, but just put it down to the fact that I'm a bad sister.
If you think you're gonna get out of this by pretending you're insane, you're crazy. Maybe you're not gonna marry me, but I'm gonna marry you. I love you, you dope.
Well, if you love me, we can get out of that. We can get the hell out of here.
Right?
Of course, dear. Good night, dear. I'll call you up someday or two.
You crazy!
And Abby and Martha, come in here.
Dear, what is it? Where's Elaine?
I thought you promised me not to let anyone in this house know I'm a doctor.
Well, Jonathan.
I don't mean Jonathan.
And Dr.
I
Einstein.
don't mean
was
Dr.
with us.
Einstein. Who's that in the window seat?
We told you, Mr. Hoskins.
It is not Mr. Hoskins.
Who can that be?
Tell me that you've never seen this man.
I certainly am. Why, this is a fine how do you do. Oh, it's getting so anybody thinks he can walk into this house.
Now, Aunt Abby, don't you try to get out of this. That's another one of your gentlemen.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? That man's an imposter. And if he's come here to be buried in our cellar, he's mistaken.
Aunt Abby, you admitted to me that you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did.
But this man just couldn't have gotten the idea from Mr. Hoskins. By the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
Well, he must have gone to Panama. No, not yet. He's just down there waiting for the services. Poor dear. Oh, we haven't had a minute with Jonathan in this house. Oh, we've always wanted to hold a double service. But I will not in service to a complete stranger.
A stranger? Aunt Abby, how can I believe you? There are 12 men in the cellar, and you admit that you poisoned them.
Yes, I did. If you don't think I'd shoot you telling a fib. Martha!
Over here, I'd like to have a word with you.
Oh, words about all that you'll have time for, Jonathan, because I've decided you and your little doctor friend are just going to have to get out of this house just as quickly as possible.
I'm glad that you recognize the fact that you and I can live under the same roof, but you've arrived at the wrong solution. I'm staying, and you're leaving, and I'm now.
Do you think I can be frightened? If you think there's anything that I can fear.
I lived a strange life, Mortimer, but it's taught me one truth. To be afraid of nothing.
Poor thing, you just come and look at what's in this window seat. You will never believe it.
Now, Aunt Abby. Jonathan, let Aunt Martha see what's in the window seat. Aunt Abby, I owe you an apology. I have very good news for you. Jonathan is leaving. He's taking Dr. Einstein and their old companion with him. Jonathan, you're my brother. You're a Brewster. I'm going to give you a chance to get away and take the evidence with you. You can't ask for more than that. Very well. In that case, I'll have to call the police.
Don't reach for that telephone. Are you still giving me orders after seeing what's happened to Mr. Spinozzo?
Can't leave us a foreigner.
Remember what happened to Mr. Spinozzo can happen to you too.
Hello, Miss Abby.
Pleased to meet you.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Well, it must be nice having your nephew stay with you for a bit. Are they gonna, visiting you? Are they gonna stay with you for a bit?
I'm staying. My brother Jonathan is just leaving.
I've met you before, haven't I?
Well, I'm afraid not. Jonathan hasn't been home in years.
Your face looks familiar to me. Maybe I've seen a picture of you somewhere?
I don't think so.
Yes, Jonathan, I'd hurry if I were you. Your things aren't packed anyways, aren't they?
Well, you'll be wanting to say your goodbyes. I'll be running along now.
What's the rush? I'd love to have you stick around until my brother.
I just walked in to make sure everything was all right.
Well, we're going to have some coffee in the minute. Won't you join us?
I forgot the coffee.
Well, I'd better make some more sandwiches. I appetite better by now.
Don't bother, I'm due to bring in a few minutes.
You can have a cup of coffee with us. My brother will be up.
Say, can I see a photograph of your brother around here someplace?
I don't think so.
He certainly reminds me of somebody.
He looks like somebody you've probably seen in the movies.
I never go to the movies. I hate them. My mother says it's a bastard art.
Yes, it's cool though. Your mother said that?
Yeah, my mother was an actress, a stage actress. Perhaps you've heard of her? Peaches Latour?
It sounds like a name I've heard on the program. What did she play?
Well, her big hit was Mutt and Jeff. Played it for 3 years. I was born on tour, the 3rd season.
You were?
Yep, Sioux City, Iowa. I was born in the dressing room at the end of the 2nd act. And Mother made the finale.
What a trooper. There must be a good story in your mother. You know, I write about the theater.
You do? Say, you're not Warner Brewster, the dramatic critic.
Yes.
Well, I certainly am glad to meet you. Say, Mr. Brewster, we're in the same line of business.
We are?
Yeah, I'm a playwright. Oh, this being on the police force is just temporary.
How long have you been on the force?
12 years. I've been a serial killer life. Well, all the drama I've seen you even caught, Mr. Brewster, you got no idea what goes on in Brooklyn.
I think I have.
Look, I'll tell you.
Oh, you're on your way, eh? Good. You haven't much time now.
Well, everything's just about ready. Oh, you're leaving now, Jonathan? Goodbye. Goodbye, Dr. Einstein. Oh, doesn't this bag belong to you?
Oh, yes, Jonathan. You can't go without all your things. Well, O'Hara, it was nice meeting you. I'll see you again and we'll talk about your play.
Oh, I'm not leaving now, Mr. Brewster. No, sir, Mr. Brewster. I ain't leaving till I tell you.
In that case, Mortimer will be running along.
Don't try that. You can't go yet. You've got to take everything with you, you know? Look, O'Hara, you run along now. My brother's just going.
I can wait. I've been waiting 12 years.
I'm so sorry it was so long.
O'Hara, will you join us for a bite in the kitchen?
Oh, well, that's nice. Come along, Officer O'Hara. Goodbye, Jonathan. It's nice to have seen you again.
I'm glad you came back to Brooklyn, Jonathan, because it gives me a chance to throw you out. And the first one out is your boyfriend, Mr. Spinoza.
Look, Mr. Brewster. We can talk in here.
Get going now, all 3 of you.
Doctor, this affair between my brother and me has got to be settled.
Johnny, your brother gives us a chance to get away. What more can you ask for?
You don't understand. This goes back a good many years.
Johnny, let's get going.
We're not going. We're going to sleep right here tonight.
The cop in the kitchen and Mr. Spinoza in the window seat.
That's all he's got on us. We'll take Mr. Spinozzo down and dump him in the bay and come right back here. Then if he tries to interfere...
Okay, Johnny. But I've got to eat first.
Go to the cellar. Move fast.
Johnny! You know the hole in the cellar?
Yeah.
We got an ace in the hole. Come on, I'll show you.
Jonathan! Jonathan! Jonathan?
Yes, Uncle?
Where'd you two get? I thought I told you to get going.
We're not going.
Oh, you're not? You think I'm not serious about this? Do you want to Paris know what's in that window seat?
We're staying here.
All right, you asked for it. This gets me rid of you and Officer O'Hara at the same time. Officer O'Hara, come in here.
You tell O'Hara what's in that window seat, I'll tell him what's in the cellar. There's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
What are you doing down in the cellar?
What's he doing down in the cellar?
No thanks, ma'am. That was delicious.
Now, what are you going to say to O'Hara?
Say, Mr. Brewster, you still gotta hear my plot.
No, O'Hara, you've got to go now. You can't do that now. Not in front of all these people. We'll be alone together, someplace later.
How about the back door at Kelly's?
Fine, you go ring in, and I'll meet you at Kelly's.
Why don't you two go down in the cellar?
Oh,
No.
cellar?
We'll go to Kelly's. Oh, you've got to ring in.
All right, that'll only take a couple minutes.
I'll ditch this guy back in 5 minutes. I expect to find a job. Wait for me.
We'll wait for him, Doctor. I've waited a great many years for a chance like this.
They gone? Oh, sorry, we thought we heard somebody leave.
Just one minute, he'll be back in a few minutes.
Oh no, but if you're still here when the one that gets back, you won't like it.
Well, he'll like it. He's gotta like it.
Get something for us to eat while we bury Mr. Spinoza in the cellar.
Oh no, Jonathan, you've got to take him with you.
There's a friend of Mortimer's downstairs waiting for him.
A friend of Mortimer's.
He and Mr. Spinoza will get along fine together. They're both dead.
Mr. Hoskins.
You know about what's downstairs?
Of course we do, and he's no friend of Mortimer's. He's one of our gentlemen. Your gentleman?
And you won't have any strangers buried in our cellar.
But Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins isn't a stranger.
And besides, there's no room for Mr. Spinoza. The cellar's crowded already.
Crowded? With what?
There are 12 graves down there now.
12 graves?
That leaves very little room, as we're going to need it.
You mean you and Aunt Martha have murder?
Murder? It's certainly not. It's one of our charities.
A mercy.
So you just take your Mr. Spinozzo out of here.
You've done that here in this house. And you buried them down there.
Tony, we've been chased all over the world. They stay right here in Brooklyn and do just as good as you do.
What?
You got 12 and they got 12.
I've got 13.
No, Tony, 12.
13. There's Mr. Spinozzo, then the first one in London, 2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 2 in San Francisco, 1 in Phoenix, Arizona,
Phoenix.
the gas station, 3 in Chicago, and the 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
No, Tony, he died of pneumonia. You can't count him.
He would have got pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
No, Tony, he died of pneumonia, so we don't count.
We count to me, I say 13.
No, Tony, you got 12 and they got 12. The old ladies are just as good as you are.
Oh, they are, aren't they? Well, that's easily taken care of. All I need is 1 more. That's all. Just 1 more.
Well, here I am.
You can't do that. This is our house, and this is our cellar, and you can't do that. Ladies, please, go back upstairs where you belong.
Abby, Martha, go upstairs.
There's no use in you doing what you're doing. It's just gonna have to be undone.
I tell you, we won't have it, and you better stop it right now.
All right, you'll find out. You'll find out whose house this is.
Come on, Doc.
All right. Now, where's Ted?
Mortimer, where have you been?
Do you know what Jonathan's doing?
He's putting Mr. Hoskins and Mr. Spinoza in together.
Oh, he is he? Well, let him.
What? Come on, Martha, we're going for the police.
All right, the police. You can't go for the police.
Why can't we?
Because if you tell the police about Mr. Spinozzo, they find Mr. Hoskins too. And that might be curious, and they find out about the other 12 gentlemen.
Mortimer, we know the police better than you do. I don't think they'd pry into our private affairs if we asked them not to. And besides, if you're not going to do something about Mr. Spinozzo, we are.
I am going to do something. We may have to call the police in later, but if we do, I want to be ready for them.
We've got to get Jonathan out of this house.
And the assistant also, too.
Will you please let me do this my own way?
Come, Abby.
Good night, Auntie.
Whew! That's all fixed up. Smooth like a lake. Nobody even knows they were down there. That bed feels good already. 48 hours we went without sleep. Now come on, Johnny, let's go up, eh?
You're forgetting, Doctor.
What?
My brother Mortimer.
Johnny, please. I'm tired. And tomorrow I got to operate.
Yes, you're operating tomorrow, Doctor, but tonight you can take care of Mortimer.
But Johnny, we go to bed tonight, eh?
Doctor, look at me. You know this is going to be done, can't you?
Oh, okay, Johnny, I can see. I know that look. All right, fine, we do it. Let's take a quick twist, like in London.
Doctor, I think this calls for something special. I think perhaps the Melbourne.
Don't do that, Mr. President.
I cannot sign any proclamation without consulting my cabinet.
But this must be a secret.
A secret proclamation? How unusual. I'll sign it right away.
Yes, let's go inside.
You wait here. A secret proclamation must be signed in secret.
Hey, let them go. Hey. Okay, listen. Johnny is in a bad mood. And when he's in a bad mood, he becomes a madman. Things happen. Terrible things.
Jonathan doesn't worry me now.
Don't those crazy ones teach you anything?
About what?
Well, at least people in plays like myself take out more sense than you do.
Oh, you think so, do you? You think people in plays act intelligently? I wish you had to sit through some of the ones I have to sit through. Take this one little opus for opera one I saw tonight, for instance. In this play, there's a man, he's supposed to be bright. He knows he's in a house of murderers. He's in danger. He's even been warned to get out of the house. No, he stays there. Now I ask you, Doctor, is that what an intelligent person would do?
You're asking me.
He didn't even have the sense enough to be frightened, to be on guard. For instance, the murderer just invites him to sit down.
You mean, won't you sit down?
Believe it or not, that one was in there too.
So, what did he do?
He sat down. And what do you think they used to tie him?
What?
The clothesline.
Oh, well, why not? A good idea. Very convenient.
A little too convenient. When our playwright's going to use some imagination. The clothesline.
So, he didn't see him get it.
See him? He sat there right with his back to him. So there he sits, the big dope. This fellow who's supposed to be bright, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged.
Yeah, you're right about that, Bella. He wasn't very bright.
Now, Mortimer, if you don't mind, here's the story. Mortimer, I've been away for 20 years, but never once in all that time, my dear brother, did you out of my mind. Now, Doctor, you go to work.
Please, Johnny, for me, it's a quick way.
Doctor, this must really be an artistic achievement. After all, we're performing before a very distinguished critic.
But I've got to have a drink. Remember when we came here this afternoon? There was drinks. There was wine. Where was it? Seriously?
Well, we split it. One moment, Doctor, please. Hurry your manners. Doctor, to my dear dead brother. He goes next, that's all. He goes next.
No, sir. We're taking the vehicle away from him. Hey, you stood me up. I waited an hour at Kelly's for you.
He just saw this play tonight, and he was just explaining what happens in the fella in the play. He got really into it too.
Hey, how about the play you saw tonight? Gee, they practically stole that for my second act of my play. Just before I better begin. It opens in my mother's dressing room where I was born. Only I ain't born yet. Huh? Oh. No, you still gotta hear the plot. Well, she's sitting there making up, you see, when all of a sudden a man with a black mustache walks in. Turns to my mother and says, Miss Latour, will you marry me? He doesn't know she's pregnant. There she is, lying unconscious across the table in her lingerie. The butcher is standing over her with a hatchet. I'm tied up in a chair just like you are. The place is an inferno of flames. When all of a sudden, through the window, in comes Mayor DiMaggio. Hey, remember who paid for that? Go easy on it.
Well, I'm listening, ain't I?
How do you like it so far?
Well, put Johnny to sleep.
All right, it's 3 days later. I've been transferred and I'm under some charges. That's because somebody stole my badge. I'm walking my beat on Staten Island when a guy I'm following, it turns out, is really following me. Don't let anybody in. So I figure I'll smart. There's a vacant house on the street. I go in. It's cops! I stand there in the dark and see the door handle turn.
Johnny, yeah, quick, there's cops.
I pull my gun and I take some cover. And I say, you'll never take me alive, coppers!
What the hell is going on here?
Hey, Pat, what do you know? This is Woodbridge Brewster. He's really gonna write my play with me. I'm just telling him the story.
Did you have to tie him up to make him listen? No, we got a report at the station. The whole force is looking for you. We didn't know you was here. We came to warn the old ladies that the colonel blew the bugle again in the middle of the night. The lieutenant's on the warpath. He says that the colonel's got to be put away soon.
Yes.
Gee, Mr. Brewster, I gotta get away. So I'll just run to the third act quick.
Get away from me.
Say, do you know what time it is? It's after 8 o'clock in the morning. It is? Gee, Mr. Brewster, the first 2 acts could run a little long, but I don't see anything we could leave out.
You can leave it all out.
Who the hell is this guy?
That's my brother.
Oh, the one that ran away?
So he came back?
Yes, he came back.
So I didn't turn a day. All right, you got me. And I suppose you and that stool pigeon brother of mine is going to split the reward.
Reward?
Now I'll do some turning in. You think my aunts are charming old ladies, don't you? Well, there are 13 bodies buried in that cellar.
Daddy!
What the hell are you talking about? You better be careful what you're saying about their aunt. They happen to be friends of ours.
I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. You come down to the cellar.
Wait a minute.
13 bodies. I'll show you where you're at.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to see what's down in the cellar?
Going down in the cellar with you.
I'm not so sure I want to be down in the cellar with him. Look at that pussy. He looks like Boris Karloff. Hey, what the hell? Hey, get off of me! What do you think you're doing?
Oh, you leave it forward.
What the hell do you men think you're doing here?
I told you I was going to handle this.
Well, sir, we were about to. What happened? Did he put up a fight? He's the guy that loves the bugle. This is his brother. He tried to kill Clint. All I said was he looked like Boris Karloff.
We kind of think he's wanted somewhere.
Oh, you kind to think he's wanted somewhere? If you guys, would look at the particulars leading up at the station, certainly he's wanted in Indiana. Escaped from the prison for the criminally insane. Of course he was described like that. He looked like Homer.
Was there a reward mentioned?
Yeah, and I'm claiming it.
He was trying to get us down in the cellar. He said there was 13 bodies buried down there.
13 bodies buried in the cellar. And then I didn't take you off that he came off as a nut house.
I thought all along you talked kind of crazy. Oh, it's Shakespeare.
And where have you been all night? And you needn't bother to tell me?
Oh, I've been right here, sir. Writing a plan of murderer Custer.
Yeah? Well, you're gonna have plenty of time to write that play. You're suspended. Now get back and report in.
Can I come over sometime and...
No! Get out of here! 13 bodies in the cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in the cellar.
Who are you?
I'm President of the cellar.
What the hell is this?
He's the fellow that blows the bugle.
Good morning, Colonel.
Wow. Colonel, you've blown your last bugle.
Dear me. Another yellow fever victim. All the bodies in the cellar are yellow fever.
No, Colonel, this is a spy we caught in the White House.
Will you get that guy out of here?
Sure. If there's any questioning spies, that's my department.
You keep out of this.
You're forgetting, as President of the United States, I'm head of Secret Service.
Captain, I'm Mortimer.
Are you sure?
I'd like to talk to you about my brother, the one who blew the bugle.
Mr. Brewster, we ain't gonna talk about that. He's gotta be put away.
I quite agree with you. In fact, that's all arranged for. I had these commitment papers signed.
Where's he going?
Happydale.
Alright, I don't care where he goes as long as he goes.
Oh, he's going all right. But I want you to know that everything that's happened around here, Teddy's responsible for it. Now, those 13 bodies in the cellar.
Yeah, those 13 bodies in the cellar. It ain't enough that the neighbors are all afraid of him, and he's disturbing that peace with that bugle. But can you imagine what would happen if that cockeyed story about 13 bodies in the cellar got around?
I know he's trying to start a yellow fever scare. Cute, ain't it?
13 bodies. Do you think anyone will believe that story?
Yeah, tell me something. Some people are just dumb enough. You don't really know what to believe sometimes. About a year ago, some guy, crazy guy, started a murder room over at Greenpoint, and I had to dig up half an eagle out just to prove that.
Will you excuse me?
Good morning, Mortimer.
Good morning, dear.
This is Mr. Witherspoon. He's come to meet Teddy.
To meet Teddy.
Mr. Witherspoon, the superintendent of Happydale.
Oh, come right in. This is Captain...
Lieutenant.
I'm glad you're here, Cooper, because you're taking him back with you today.
Complete insubordination. You men will find out how no mollycoddle can treat the President of the United States like this. What's this country come to?
Just a minute. Mr. President, I have very good news for you. Your term of office is over.
Is it May 4th?
Practically.
Oh! Now I'm on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes. Well, I must get started immediately. Who's he? He tries to move in before I've even moved out.
Who, Teddy?
Taft.
This isn't Mr. Taft, Teddy. This is Mr. Witherspoon. He's to be your guide to Africa.
God. Bully. Well, thank you very much. I'll bring down my... Well, goodbye. Goodbye, Martha. I'm on my way to Africa on my hunting trip. Isn't it wonderful?
Good morning, darling.
Oh, we have visitors.
This is Lieutenant Rooney.
Oh, how do you do, Lieutenant? Oh, you don't look like quite the jerkwad the policemen say you are.
Oh, and you happen to Mr. Witherspoon. He's the superintendent of Happydale.
Mr. Witherspoon, how do you do?
Yes, you've come to meet Teddy. He's come to take him.
And the police want Teddy to go there today.
Oh, no.
Not while we're alive.
I'm sorry, Miss Brewster, but it has to be done. The papers are all signed and he's going along with the superintendent. But we won't permit it. We'll promise to take the bugle away from him.
We won't be separated from Teddy.
I'm sorry, ladies, but the law's the law. He's committed himself and he's going.
Well, if he goes, we're going too.
Yes, you'll have to take us with him.
Well, why not?
Oh, that's sweet of you to want to. But unfortunately, at Happyville, we can't take a saving school.
Mr. Witherspoon, if you allow us to live there with Teddy, we will make sure Happydale receives a large amount in our will.
We know. Lord knows we could use the money, however.
Now, let's be sensible about this, lady. For instance, here I am, wasting my morning when I've got serious work to do. You know there are actual murders to be solved in Brooklyn?
Yes. Oh, there are.
Yeah, and all the neighbors are afraid of him, but this will just end up getting worse.
Sooner or later, we'll be having to dig up your cellar.
Our cellar?
Yeah, your nephew's been telling around that there are 13 bodies in your cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in our cellar.
If that's what you think Teddy has to go away, you can come right down and we'll prove it to you.
There's one, Mr. Spinalzo, who doesn't belong here. They'll have to leave. But the other 12 are our gentlemen.
No, I know if the lieutenant wants to go down in the cellar. He was telling me only last year he had to dig up a half-acre lot. Weren't you, Lieutenant?
Yeah, that's right.
But you wouldn't have to dig here. The graves are all marked. The flowers will never send them.
Flowers! Superintendent! Don't you think you could, find a room? Maybe you can,
Come along with us and we'll show you the graves.
Yeah, I'm thinking work for lady. Listen, I'm a busy man. How about it?
Would have to be committed.
Teddy committed himself. Can't they commit themselves? Can't they sign the papers?
Why, certainly.
Oh, well, if you go with Teddy, then we'll sign the papers. Where are they?
Yes,
Coming around with it.
Signed right here.
And you here, Aunt Patty.
Oh, we are overlooking something. Well, we're going into the school really well.
Oh, Dr. Einstein, will you come over here? We'd like you to sign some papers. Just come right over, Doctor. At one time last night, I thought the doctor was going to operate on me. Just come right over, Doctor.
And right there. There too. Down there too. Also right there. Good spot. Go back. Right there. Right there.
Okay. Are you leaving, Doctor?
Yeah, I really have to go.
Aren't you going to look for Jonathan?
I don't think they're going to the same place.
Hello, Elaine. I'm glad to see you. Stick around, huh?
Don't worry, I'm going to.
Hello? Matt? Rooney. Listen, we picked up on a guy that's wanted in Indiana. Now, there's a description of his accomplice. It's on my desk. Will you read it to me? Yeah, about 5'4", 130 pounds. Blue eyes. Socks. German accent. Poses as a doctor. Yeah, thanks, man. Gee, Doc, you're really doing Brooklyn a service.
Look, you're right, Lieutenant. The doctor has just signed. All signatures. Now, Mr. Brewster, you signed that for Kim.
Yes, of course, right here.
That's fine.
That makes everything complete. Everything legal?
Yes.
Well, Aunties, now you're safe.
When do you think you'll be ready to start?
Well, Mr. Witherspoon, why don't you go upstairs and tell Teddy just so he can take along?
I'll show you.
No, Mortimer, you stay here. We'd like to talk to you. Mr. Witherspoon, yes, just upstairs and to your left.
Well, Mortimer, now that we're moving, this house really is yours.
Yes, so we want you to live here now.
You'll need a home for you and Elaine when you're married.
Darling, that's very intimate.
It's nothing of a kind. We're going to be married right away. Mortimer, we're really very worried about something.
Now, darlings, you're going to love it at Happy Day.
Oh, yes, we're very happy about the whole thing. That's just it. Don't want anything to go wrong.
Will they investigate those signatures?
Don't worry, they're not going to look up Dr. Einstein.
It's not his signature we're worried about here. It's yours.
You see, you signed as next of kin.
Of course, why not?
Well, dear, there's something we never wanted to tell you, but now that you're a man, and it's something Elaine should know too. You're not really a Brewster.
Your mother came to us as a cook. You were born about 3 months afterward. She was such a sweet woman and such a good cook, we didn't want to lose her. So, father married her.
I'm not really a Brewster.
I'm not talking about business, dear.
And Elaine, it won't make any difference to you?
Elaine, did you hear? Do you understand? I'm a bastard!
Take this with you.
You won't need a wagon. My car's in the front.
Oh, you're leaving her, Jonathan?
Yeah, he's going back to Indiana. There's some people there that want to take care of him for, the rest of his life. Now, come on!
Oh, Jonathan, it's nice to know you have someplace to go.
We're leaving too.
Yes, we're going to Happydale.
This house is seeing the last of the Brewsters.
Unless Mortimer wants to live in it.
I'd suggest to Nate, why don't you turn this property over to the church?
Oh, well, we never thought of that.
After all, it should be part of the cemetery.
All right, let's get going. I'm busy here.
Goodbye, aunties. Well, I can't better my record, but neither can you. At least I have that satisfaction. The score stands even 12 to 12.
Open!
Jonathan always was mean boy. I never let anyone get it.
I wish we could show him he wasn't so smart. Mr. Witherspoon, does your family live with you in Happydale?
I have no family.
Well, I suppose you consider everyone at Happydale your family.
Oh, no, I don't think you quite understand. As the superintendent, I have to keep quite aloof.
That must make it very lonely for you.
It does, but my duty is my duty.
Well, Martha. If Mr. Witherspoon won't join us for breakfast, at least offer him a glass of elderberry wine.
Very wine.
We make it ourselves.
Oh, why? Yes. Of course, at Happydale our flesh can be more formal, but you don't see much elderberry wine nowadays. I thought I'd have my last glass of it.
Oh, no.
No, here it is.
Thank you.